Hello, this is your boy WaleAde, and today we're having a serious episode of Religion and Politics. We want to talk about mental health, so join us in a few. Hello, it's your boy WaleAde, and today I want to talk about Mr. Black. One of the things that, if you haven't heard this story, it's a really chilling story. It's an unfortunate story. Basically, what happened is this man by the name of Rajaee Shareef Black. He is or was in Maryland, and he had an ex that was in Baltimore, and he actually went and killed his ex, shot her in the head, and then on his way to his ex-wife's house, or right outside of her house, he recorded a video where he talked about the struggles he was going through with the custody battles with his ex-wife, how he alleged that she said that he had molested their kids, and so he said that she was the cause of his depression. And so he also stated that he didn't want to go to prison, so he was about to handle her just like he handled his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend, and then he was going to do himself. And so the reason why I want to touch on this topic today um, is just for the simple fact that I think it's time for us to really get serious about our mental health. As a matter of fact, here in America, there's so many stressors that you go through. I mean, there's the stressors of, your relationships. There's the stressors of, your kids. There's the stressors of the job where you may not feel valued. There's the stressors of family where people may be pulling on you. And everywhere you turn, there are stressors. And it's only but a matter of time before those stressors can get overwhelming and you can do irrational behaviors like Mr. Black did. But I do want to just point out that we don't want to wait for things to get bad before we actually start to take our mental health seriously. I don't care if you're my age, I'm the age of 35, or you're older, maybe you're a baby boomer in your 60s going on 70s, and older. It doesn't matter. Or even if you're young as Generation Alpha, I think they're the new generation. I think it's time that we understand that we live in a society that is full of stress, that is full of anxiety, that's full of depression, that's full of so many things that we probably haven't seen to this degree previously. And so I think it's time for us to really take it more seriously to make sure that we're getting help and checking in. I know he had been talking to his friend because even somebody came on Mr. Black's live, and he said, what I've been going through. And so I think we got to start, being more attentive to the stressors, but also doing more about it. And so one of the things I just want to give some tips. If you may be feeling stressed out, if you are, at a point where you feel like you're about to snap, one of the things that I just recommend is number one. What helps me is my relationship with God. I know that might sound cliche. I know that might be, oh, yeah, you may believe, you may not believe. But one thing I can tell you is that my relationship with God helps me to gauge what's actually going on within inside of me. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times we as I know as a man, we try to push through, and maybe even women too, try to push through the anxiety and push through the depression and push through this. But because of my attunement with God, He's able to tell me like, no, you need to stop, you need to chill, you need to rest, you need to do X, Y, and Z. Now, do I always listen? No, but the fact of the matter is, I do have that gauge. So when I don't know what's going on with me, I do have that higher power, which is Christ for me, that helps me to see exactly what I'm going through, even when I don't realize it in time. The second thing I want to stress is the importance of going to counseling. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I just always recommend is that people go to counseling. It's Christ and counseling, theology and therapy, God and guidance, whatever you want to call it. It's really good for you to get that objective professional to kind of help you walk through some of those things that you may be dealing with. I mean, it's Mr. Black's situation is not uncommon when it comes to some of the stresses, especially when there's kids involved. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I hear from a lot of men, is that they have issues with, maybe their ex spouse or their baby mama or whoever when it comes to weaponizing kids, whether you can see them, whether they can't see them, how the court system is, it seems to favor the maternal side. And so, I mean, these things, I have seen instances of them. And so I think one of the things that we have to do is we do have to advocate for fairness in the family court. Making sure that if the man wants to be a part of his child's life, that if you are that type of woman, that you stop and that you allow that man to be able to be a part of his life. But also, men, you have to be responsible and you have to be there for your kids. And so I think there's both sides of this story that we need to really delve into and look at. And I think there's sides where the men want to be involved, but the woman doesn't want them to be involved, and there's sides where the man doesn't want to be involved at all. And so I think that's a thin line to navigate, but we have to come up with answers if we're going to circumvent some of these situations, these tragic situations in our community. And so, not only do I think you need to have a strong relationship with God, I also said that you probably should get professional help when you're starting to feel it. You can actually feel it in your body. Like when you're just stressed out, sometimes you feel it in your stomach, sometimes you feel it in your gut, you feel it in your head. You can just kind of feel that you're getting tense. And so I think you got to listen to your body. And what that means also is that you got to take time to slow down and rest. I think rest is so important. Time to just pull away, time to just have to yourself, because we live in such a fast paced, do it now society that, there's not a lot of time to rest. And I think you have to plan that time to rest and make sure you honor it too, because so many things will try to jump into that time to take that away from you. But you have to be sure that you say, no, this is my scheduled time to rest, and that you take that rest. But the last thing that I just want to leave with you is ask for help. I mean, pride is one of the biggest things that it really gets a lot of us in bad situations. And I think, whether that's an ear to listen to or whether that's actually someone who can help with a tangible solution to whatever you're going through, ask for help, because the thing about it that I believe is that God puts help around us. A lot of times we sit there and we pray, we pray, we pray. We want God to hand deliver things that He's already provided for. And so I just encourage you, if you're going through these symptoms, that if you're feeling like the world is overwhelming, if you feel like it's too much for you, I just encourage you to please reach out to somebody, whether that's the suicide hotline, whether that's a counselor, whether that's your pastor. Reach out to somebody, a trusted friend that can help you before you go over the edge and perform an act that causes harm and hurt to many. As a matter of fact, my condolences to the family. They have kids, and now the kids have lost both their parents. And so please keep them in your prayers. Please send warm and positive thoughts. And if you are close in that circle, I just advise you to really take over and make sure that those kids are okay. So once again, this is another episode of Religion and Politics. Your host, WaleAde. We've had a tough topic today, but I just want to make sure that you're okay. So in the comments, if you need somebody to pray with you, I am a pastor, or if you need somebody to just kind of reach out or, chat, I'm willing to do that. And there's other resources that will be available as well. Thank you and have a blessed day. See you later.